What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another video on US30. So let's get straight into this daily range case study breakdown. All right, so first things first, as you can see today, we had a massive drop, crazy drop. I was not expecting this at all. I was actually able to capitalize on this buy right here, this buy move, but then I didn't expect it to be have this 22 point move, but that's US30 for you. Some days it's gonna move, some days it's not. So let's just mark up the previous day's highs and previous day's lows. The previous day's high is still intact. The previous day's low from yesterday is, as you can see, got ran through, got killed, slaughtered, pushed through, demolished, all the words you can think of. But the previous day's high remained intact. So second thing I'm gonna do, just to show you guys that if you pull the fib from yesterday's high to the low, you get something similar. So if you maybe come to the 4 hour, it did reject on the higher time frames, but based off of the lower time frames, this fib is invalid. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark up the 12 a.m. open, which is right here, and then from here I'm going to mark up the Asian session range, which is going to be from right here to right here. Let's get that up there, high and the low. And as you can see, the previous day's low is also the Asian range low. So they're both the same thing as of right now. So we have that, the Asian range low, the previous day's low, and then we also have, here, let me make this perfect. I got OCD, guys, sorry. The Asian range low, the 12 a.m. open, and then we have the previous day's high and previous day's low. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up all the big figure levels that got respected today. So the first one we have is 35,500, which came almost to the pip up here, not really to the pip, but on this specific liquidity provider, it came to the pip. On, if I say go to maybe a different one, these are going to be different. So if I go here, maybe I go to this other one over here, 35,500. Actually, it's a little bit farther away. So on this liquidity provider, it just happened to be to the pip, and that is crazy. But we're going to get into also why that happened up there also, but we're going to wait. We have 35,200 here, 34,800, and then we have the final one where we made the low of the day at 34,500. So these are all the main areas that got targeted today. So here I'm gonna have to make them all perfect because I got OCD and I cannot, even if it's just by 0.9 just like this, I cannot have that. Even by 0.3 can't have that. Need it to be perfect. So we have all our big figure levels, 34,500 and then 35,500. So at 35,500 we made the high of the day, and down here we made the low of the day. And we're going to annotate this. But before I put the high of the day and annotate this, I want you guys to take a look at the higher time frames. So one thing that I noticed is after coming to the 30-minute time frame, going to the hour, I see that there was a 1 hour order block right here, right where price started to react. So we see that price tagged into 35,500 and also tagged into this 1 hour order block. But if you even take a step further and come to the 4 hour, you see that this is a refined version of the 4 hour order block also. So if you take this 4 hour order block just like this, go down to the hour time frame, you can see that if you, say for example, would have gotten the 50% of this order block, refine it like I always tell you guys to do. If you would have got that and then refined it to the hour order block, you would have seen that the 50% of that 4 hour order block and the open of this 1 hour bearish 1 hour order block is in confluence with each other. So as you can see, I'm going to get rid of that fib, but we have this 1 hour order block that also got traded into at 35,500 at what time? 11 a.m. making what? The high of the day. So we're going to annotate that. So we got the high of the day at 11 a.m. plus 35,500 rejection, plus we had the 1 hour order block rejection. And then all these things led to this being the highest point of the day. And then from here, you can see price had this major expansion to the downside. But before we get into that, I want to show you guys how I was able to capitalize on this buy trade. Even though this wasn't a long-term trade, this is still something I was anticipating. So what did I do? I was basically anticipating price to have this push to the top side. Why? Because I seen that we made this low down here at 415. I was anticipating that this was going to be the low of the day. So what did I do? I pulled my fib from that low that was created during the London session. I pulled the normal fib just like that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the 38.20%. So from this low to this high is where I drew my fib from. And as you can see, price came down. I was anticipating price to potentially clear this low, tag into this 30, 35, 100 area, but it actually didn't. It was all the way down here. But we see that we tapped into that 62%, and then we also tapped into this 15-minute bullish order block also. And then from here, I was also looking that we were below the 12 a.m. open, which means I was in a good buy area. And from here, that's when I got into the trade, and that's when price expanded at 9:30. And then from here, price ended up just taking off. I didn't even hold the trade all the way up to here. I got out at around 100 pips, so way before this whole move. I wasn't anticipating to move this much, so I got out around this high is where I got out, because I was anticipating that we had this order block right here, and I didn't know if we were going to possibly reject it. As you see, we were rejecting it before price ended up continue pushing, so that's why I got out there. And we also had the 35 250 quarter point, so that's why I got out there. But that was just a little bit of an explanation on the trade I took. But overall, that's not while we're here to show you guys the daily range. So now let me get back to the regular scheduled program. So see, we made the high of the day at 35,500 after we traded into the 1 hour order block, and also at 11 a.m. So from there, we had that big drop that then targeted what? We targeted 34,800. We targeted the previous day's low for the first time, so we're going to annotate that also. Targeted previous day's low plus Asian range low. So we targeted both the previous day's low and the Asian session low. What did I forget? I forgot the E. So that's just like that. We targeted the previous day's low along with the Asian range low, and I'm gonna draw the arrows right over here, just like that, and I'm gonna put these in the middle of it, just like that. And then from here, what happened? Where did we make the low of the day? We made the low of the day after tapping into 34,500. But now let's go to a higher time frame, and I also see that we made this low of the day after we finally traded into this bullish daily order block. Just like that. So now we're going to come down to the lower time frame, 15-minute, and you can see that's where price is currently closing. Look at how price wicked all the way above it, just like this. Look at this big wick candle, closed right above that daily order block. Didn't close below. This one did close below, but pay attention to this one. That shows you that price is respecting this area. So this is going to be the low of the day. What time was this created? This 15-minute candle, so about 30 minutes ago. So I would say around 9:30 at night. So I'll say 9:30 p.m. Low of the day at 9:30 p.m. Plus we traded into 34,500. Plus we traded into a daily order block. So that's what we did here. Now we can zoom back out just like this. We made the low of the day at 9:30 p.m. after trading into a daily bullish order block, and also trading into here. I'm just trying to make this look as nice as possible, because keep in mind that this is a big daily range, so just the way price looks on my chart is just makes it look worse than it actually is. But that's what happened there. And overall, the ideal trade that you would have been looking to take more than likely would have been somewhere up here, looking to potentially short with a stop loss above the previously high, anticipating that price wouldn't tap into it, and you would have at least looked to target the previous day's low. And that's where I where I would have been able to scale out majority of my stuff. But as you can see, price overall kept going even longer, falling even deeper into this abyss. And that's really it. It was a simple day in my opinion. The best trade you could have looked to catch was either catching this bullish trade at 9:30, where we had this push. I'm going to leave this annotated right here, that 15-minute bullish order block. I'm also going to leave this annotated just like that, just so when I look back at it in the future. This is a good example, guys, of having both setups happen at once. We have a bullish London continuation move followed by a bearish New York reversal. Both of these moves happened in one day, and they both gave good signs of having both. They're both clean trades in my opinion, even though the big bearish drop did happen a little bit later on in the day, and personally I wouldn't have been trading at this time. That's why we have two different setups we look for, and the one setup was looking good. We took that trade, and just like that, the other setup happened afterwards. But now that we have that, we're going to draw the schematic. So let me do this, do that. And I'm going to draw it right over here. So we have the Asian session range, where price ranged. From there, we had that big push to the top side, cleared the Asian session high, retraced into it, had that push during the New York session where I was able to capitalize on that move. And then from there, that's when price had that big expansion to the downside. So overall, it was a clean day. can't complain. I made about 2.3% today, so perfectly fine by me. Made some of the losses that I had from the beginning of this week back, so that's always nice to see. I'm going to screenshot this, send it in the Telegram, and if you guys want to also take a screenshot of this, just you want to be able to watch how price moves every single day. When you watch things like this happen, you learn things every single day. And trust me, when I say this, here, I'm actually going to annotate this right here too. When I say this, you're going to learn a lot from just these daily ranges, because this everything you need is right here in front of you. So at 9:30 a.m., we had 9:30 a.m. plus we had that 15-minute order block plus the fib long. That's what we had right there, and that's what we had for our confirmation to take this trade this morning. Even though I wanted to, and I'm also going to put below 12 a.m. Even though I was looking to take price at least down to around this 35 100 area, which is right here. I wanted to see price come a little bit lower. If I would have potentially waited to get in that low, I would have missed this trade. So sometimes it's just best to have that intuition, and when your intuition speaks to you and you have that feeling that you want to get into the trade, sometimes it works. I'm not gonna say it always works, trust me. I've got clapped up my share of times, and I still be getting clapped up. But on that note, I'm in the video off here. This was a nice little clean little video on the daily range US30. That's really it. Today is January 20th. It is what time? January 20th, Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday, the end of the week. So we're going to see what tomorrow brings us. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning during the live streams. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you be motivated by the fear of being average. Almost fucked that up, but you know what I'm saying. But if you enjoyed this, I'll see you guys in the morning. And y'all be safe.